Hey, yo, Chase community.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, yo, history. Is history a mystery?
No.
I hadn't learned that one yet, but the older class always say, nah, we can tell you about any century. So you ready? Hey, yo, history. Is history a mystery? Tell you about any century. All right, you did a great job. Okay, well, this is our history lesson for today. There's so much more we can do at home, online. There's so many great resources on the Usborne Internet linked encyclopedia. I'm going to use some of them, but there's a lot more videos and things we can watch. But today's lesson is about China's first emperor and the Great Wall. Now, you may have already listened to the audio recording. If you haven't, it's really great. Please listen to it. It's listed on the chasecommunityschool.org parent portal website. And you can listen through the last two sections down at the bottom. I think it's chapter 32, but it's the last two recordings that are specific to this. And it tells the story of China's first emperor. Now, who was China's first emperor?
Qin Huangdi.
Oh, Qin Huangdi. So his name was Qin. So sometimes we say, who was China's first emperor? Oh yeah, Qin. But he actually changed his name to Shi Huangdi. So his name was Qin Jin. But he changed it to Shi Huangdi whenever he became emperor in 221 BC. Shi Huangdi, it means first emperor. So it's not really a name, it's really his title. It means he was king. He was the first king to unite China, like the first pharaoh. Or king is just another name. Emperor is another name. Pharaoh is another name for supreme ruler. So what does Shi Huangdi mean?
Ruler of China.
Okay, yes, but it means first
Emperor.
emperor. That's right. So he became that in 221 BC. Girls, do you guys remember what BC means? How about you guys at home? Do y'all remember what the difference between BC and AD? BC means before Christ. It can also mean before Common Era if it's BCE. But we're going to kick it old school and keep it BC. All right, so BC means before Christ. And it's before Jesus was born. So that leads all the way up to 0. Numbers work down backwards. So that's why the numbers are going down. Because he was born actually in 259. And then he died in 210. All right, so he became emperor in 221 BC. He unites China. So look over here. This is a map of what China was like whenever he was the emperor. Whenever he first united all of China. Now, what does a great civilization need to actually thrive and make it? What does it need? What does a civilization need? What does a kingdom need to start? Girls, do you know?
Building.
Not just building. What's the number one thing that they need? Because blank is life. Remember the Lakota word, miniwachoni.
Water has life.
Water is life. Water means you're instantly connected to being able to stay alive. Without water, it's done. Well, you'll notice that there are two very important rivers that run through China, the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. Well, the Yellow River Valley was the first civilization that started in China. Well, Shi Huangdi actually united all of it by force, so it wasn't like a sweet uniting, but it was like he came in and took over everywhere. And he started, he founded what is now known as Chinese civilization. All right, so what continent is China on? Yes, Grace.
Asia.
Asia, because we got a one, 2, 3.
Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, finally Australia.
That's right. So Asia, the largest continent, is where China is. And China is a huge part of Asia. It takes up a lot of land, but not just that. today there are more people who live in China than any other country in the world. Yep, China and India make up half the world's population, 3 billion people. Well, coming back to Shi Huangdi, he decided he wanted his land to be safe from the Mongols. So you see, this is China here. Well, above China, you have Mongolia. All right. Well, Mongolia was where a people called the Mongols lived, and they rode horses, and they shot bow and arrow. They shot arrows off of bows, and they were extremely precise with how they could shoot. So Shi Huangdi did not want them to come down and take over his empire that he just created. And he knew that there had been a wall built, but it hadn't been tended to for a long time, and it was breaking down. So Shi Huangdi decided we need to build the greatest wall that the world has ever seen. So he started with his people to build what is known as the Great Wall of China in 214 BC. So that is 7 years after he becomes emperor. He says, we got to build this wall. And the people were like, there's almost 4,000 miles that they have to build. You know how long that is? That is all the way across the United States. The distance had to go basically from here to here across the United States because it wrapped around China's empire at the time, the northern border from Mongolia. That's a long wall. So the people said there's not enough stones in all of China to build a wall like that. Well, he said, you better figure it out because I'm not leaving this earth until I build my wall. So he had the people go out and build these with wood, 2 like waist-high planks. And in the waist-high planks, he put dirt in there. He filled it all the way this high. Then he had people step on it until the dirt compacted all the way down to 4 inches tall. So they stepped on it. If you take dirt and a pile of dirt and you mush it, it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, they went from about 3 feet to stepping on it till it became 4 inches, this tall. So they stepped on it until it was compacted this tall and it was hard as stone. And he said, I want you to do that for 4,000 miles until you make a wall so high that the Mongolians can't come over it. And this is a picture of what it might have looked like while they were building the wall. You have people laying stones, you have people making stones, but what's in the middle to keep it strong is dirt. Dirt being compacted, stepped on, pushed down until it becomes hard as concrete, hard as stone. So,
this is the wrong wall.
We have a map of what it would have looked like. You're right. So there's a map that I'm going to send you guys that y'all can print out and color this map and write on it. But this is what the Great Wall on the map would have looked like. And this is a picture of it. Going through mountains, all through different terrains. All right, well, Shi Huangdi, he died without the wall being built, even though he said he wouldn't. He died. He was born in 259 BC, and he died in 210. See how numbers are going down towards 0. That's how numbers work before BC, before Christ. All right, so he died at 39 years old. Actually not very old for all that he did. But it wasn't until a little over 40 years ago that Shi Huangdi's grave was found. It was found by 2 farmers in China. They were in, so if you look at a map of China, right in the middle, you have the Shanxi province. And there's a city right there called Jian. You want to zoom in on this city right here? Can you see? The capital city of the Shanxi province. There were 2 farmers who were there, and they were digging, they were looking for water. And as they were looking for water, they started finding all these bits and pieces that they thought were pottery at first. But it turned out not to be pottery. It turned out to be an army that Shi Huangdi, he had buried with him to protect him. He had a city basically made for his burial site. It was 9 miles wide. And his grave still to this day has not been opened. This is what it looks like down in his grave. You see all these? Every one is made uniquely. There's not one, there are not two that are the exact same. See the difference in their faces? They must have been carved after real people. It says that anybody who opens his grave, he set automatic crossbows to shoot them. That there's all kinds of traps. It said that they've built rivers made out of mercury. And on the ceiling of his grave, they painted planets and stars. He did not want to go into the afterlife like every other person. He did not want to die. But who knows what's in there? His grave still hasn't been opened. It was only found 1,900 or 2,100 years after he died.
So we can never go in there and open it?
Well, somebody will one day, but today we still haven't gone in there. That's the story of China's first emperor and the Great Wall. Now, the Great Wall we can still visit today and we can still see. In fact, people say that you can see the Great Wall of China from outer space.
Wait, you can?
Yep, watch this. So you can see where the Great Wall digs into the earth from space. You see, you can follow it. It goes all the way around. So this is it. It goes all the way around the landscape of China, back around here. That's the Great Wall of China. You can see it
But what
from
about
space.
that little
Now this is a
boat?
satellite picture. I'm not sure if Neil and Buzz and all them, if they saw it from space or not.
There's Neil and Buzz.
That's for another history lesson. But they were two of the first men to go into outer space. Neil Armstrong. All right, well, that is our history lesson for today. There's so many more resources on Usborne, so many videos. Wanted to send this to you guys so y'all could watch it. Miss you guys. Wish we were all in history together. But I'm going to try and keep us all up to date. So, everybody, is history a mystery?
Right. And then they say,
All right.